If you just watched the Clippers vs Mavericks game, then you're here for the right reasons. The Clippers just made a new NBA record, and when talking about breaking and creating a new record, it's usually a good one, but today, it was a bad one. The Clippers are now the first team in NBA history to be down by 50 points at halftime. Before this record, it was 47, and I can't believe the Clippers, one of the best teams in the NBA, are setting this record. In this video, we're going to be talking about the truth about the Clippers, answering the question, are the Clippers as good as we think they are? Cause guys, being down by this much at halftime, there are definitely some big concerns. But quickly, before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and click this button right here, the post notification bell, to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, guys. I'd really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Clippers. I want to first talk about this game so far and throw some stats at you guys. The score at halftime was 77-27, and Luka Doncic himself had more than half of the Clippers' points. Paul George led the Clippers with the most points out of those 27, but he shot a total of 0 for 6 behind the three-point line. And with that, I know all of you guys are going to start the Paul George jokes. Overrated, pandemic P, whatever you guys want to say. In this game so far, Paul George is showing us a little glimpse of that. And honestly, with the Clippers playing this way, it's not a good thing for them. The biggest thing about this game is that we all know Kawhi Leonard is not playing. In the previous game, he had to get 8 stitches on his mouth due to an accidental elbow by Serge Ibaka. So if Kawhi Leonard was on the floor, things could definitely be different. But one thing's for sure, if the Clippers are losing this badly without their star player, that just means as a team without Kawhi, they're not so good. But when it comes to the truth about the Clippers, it starts all the way. It starts with the playoffs last year. The Clippers actually beat the Dallas Mavericks in Game 6 in the first round of the playoffs, but ended up blowing a 3-1 lead in the second round to the Denver Nuggets. After losing Game 7, the conversation about the Clippers being overrated, the Clippers not being as good as we all think they are, that conversation, that topic came up every single day, and right now, they're currently slowly living up to it. After that upset in the second round of the playoffs, the Clippers were expected to make a big move in the offseason and just try to get better. Instead, the moves the Clippers made in the offseason, in my opinion, were absolutely terrible. For one, they lost Montrezl Harrell to the Los Angeles Lakers, and then they had 2 very strange signings of Luke Kennard to a 4-year, $64 million deal, and Marcus Morris to a 4-year, $64 million deal. Guys, in my opinion, the Clippers overpaid both players, and honestly, I didn't believe they had to. Getting Serge Ibaka for a 2-year $20 million was definitely a very good price, definitely worth it, but come on, why is Marcus Morris and Luke Kennard getting paid more than Serge Ibaka? The Clippers took a big L there. Another big move the Clippers made was firing Doc Rivers, and then after that, hiring Doc Rivers' assistant coach of Tyronn Lue to be the change to fix the issues that the Clippers are having. And oh boy guys, if the Clippers are being down 50 points at the half, I don't believe there was a big change there. Which brings me to the whole Doc Rivers and Tyronn Lue conversation, where Doc Rivers actually said this. When Doc Rivers was asked about his opinion about the Clippers hiring his assistant Tyronn Lue, this is what he said. Ty Lue was sitting right next to me, so he better hope it's not adjustments. It ain't gonna be much different. From that statement alone, Doc Rivers is trying to say that it wasn't the coach's fault or the coaching staff's fault. And if it was, then hiring his assistant coach isn't going to help. They need a whole new coaching staff. Just to put it out there, Doc Rivers did say this in a jokingly manner, and then he ended up saying this. Listen, we lost the game, and I think everybody needs to take ownership. Me, obviously. We can always do better. Players can play better. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll leave it there. In my personal opinion, I believe the Clippers are a great team on paper, but chemistry is definitely something they have to work on. Giving money to players like Marcus Morris and Luke Kennard and then underpaying players like Serge Ibaka isn't the right answer. And if Kawhi Leonard is going to be the captain of this team, I believe he's going to have to be more vocal. There is just so many issues regarding the Los Angeles Clippers, and honestly, there are just so many reasons to back up that statement. One thing that we're hearing right now is that Kawhi Leonard himself says that he's not planning on signing a contract extension yet, and he says he wants to focus on this season. With Kawhi planning on entering free agency next season as an unrestricted player, I actually see Kawhi Leonard leaving the Clippers if they don't do well this year. And with the Clippers getting blown out at halftime and then making some bad offseason moves, I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if the Clippers' future is as bright as everybody is saying it would be. Paul George is saying that this year he's going to go back to his MVP form in OKC, and in the first 2 games, yes, he's been pretty good. But in this game against the Dallas Mavericks, against Luka, Paul George so far has been absolutely terrible, and I don't know. If Kawhi's not on the floor, the question is, can Paul George be that #1 guy? But I can't make this video and disregard the amazing play by the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks in this game were absolutely amazing. Right off the bat, they started off the season being 0-2, and that's why going into this game, playing the team that eliminated them last year in the playoffs, they were coming in hot. They were ready to make a push for a victory, and so far, Luka, Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway Jr., even without Kristaps Porzingis, they were amazing. They were able to score 77 points at halftime. Guys, some teams score 77 points throughout a whole NBA game. And if the Dallas Mavericks can do this at halftime in 2 quarters, it just speaks volume to the heart of this Dallas Maverick team. So a big shout out to the Mavericks having Luka there. Their future is surely bright. But one thing's for sure though, I don't want to end up this video saying that the Clippers are a bad team. I still believe they're a good team. Before this game, they were 2-0. They beat the Lakers in the season opener, and then they beat the Denver Nuggets on Christmas Day. So the Clippers are definitely championship contenders. But games like this are showing us NBA fans small signs of the small issues with the Clippers. Sometimes I feel their heart isn't there. We all know that conversation about how JaMychal Green actually left the Clippers to join the Nuggets because the Nuggets as a team has more heart, has more chemistry, and for what it looks like, the Clippers have to work on their chemistry with their new addition players. After this game, I want to see how Tyronn Lue adjusts. I don't ever want to see a Clipper blowout like this again. They have to learn from this, because if they're going to live up to the hype of them being a great and amazing championship contending team, they cannot be doing this. I'm going to say it again. This 50-point deficit is absolutely embarrassing, especially for one of the best teams in the NBA. So ultimately, guys, this wraps up my video for today on the Los Angeles Clippers and the truth. What's most important to me, guys, is I want to know your opinions. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Are the Clippers a good team? Or are you starting to see that they're actually not as good as we think they are? Put all your thoughts in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!